A letter sent to the OKA principals has emerged, and it is very revealing. It lays bare what is happening in the backroom of politics in Kenya at the moment, and it makes some very shocking revelations to us. Now on our show today, I fully analyze this particular letter. Maybe you've not seen it. No problem. We will go through it slowly on our show today so that you take in all the contents. And then I'll break it down for you, all of it, right up to the full stops and commas, etc., etc. Folks, hii show leo ni moto kama pasi ya makaa. And therefore, let's not waste any more time. Karibu sana and enjoy. This has to be the most revealing leaked letter in recent times, because a casual analysis of it reveals a lot. I believe you can see the letter on your screens right now. But let me give you a minute, for those who have not yet seen it, for you to quickly go through it so that we're on the same page moving forward.
President's directive halting meetings with OKA principals. I'm writing to convey to you the directive by His Excellency the President in which he has stopped all meetings with the One Kenya Alliance, OKA, principals and any other presidential candidate with immediate effect. The President remains committed to the unity of the country, but he expressed his dissatisfaction with the deliberate distortion of information emanating from the recent meetings with the principals. The President termed it unfortunate that the OKA principals have been trivializing the meetings that they themselves sought, diverting the focus from his core call for unity. As the symbol of national unity, the President has reiterated that he has no preferred candidate among the aspirants, and that Kenyans will pick their leader when the time comes. Going forward, I wish to notify you that all upcoming meetings are cancelled indefinitely.
Now, somebody was asking me this morning, is this letter fake or genuine? Actually, the way he put it, is this letter fake or is it a sign of desperation? Now, I'm not sure what they meant by desperation. But let us break it down. Maybe as we analyze and dissect it, we will realize what they meant by the word desperation, if at all. The first thing this letter tells us is that there is a problem between OKA and State House. Let me rephrase that for avoidance of doubt. There is a problem between President Uhuru Kenyatta and the way he views 2022 presidential elections, and OKA principles and the way they view the same. Now, this is not news. But what is important to note is that so far, we have had so many denials from OKA. There's no problem. The President has not been forcing us to do anything. He has not been putting any pressure on us, etc., etc. If we're to believe this letter, then all those denials are false, lies, not the truth. And what Kenyans have been suspecting, that there's a problem, is the reality. It is also confirmation of information that I have received several times from multiple sources, that one of the OKA principals is inciting his colleagues for OKA to move in a very different direction. Actually, what this inciter wants is for OKA to negotiate from a position of strength, which makes political sense. Yeah, actually, there's nothing wrong with that. But it also reveals that that person inciting his OKA colleagues is very desperate for the presidency, is very desperate for the handshake principles to say so and so tosha, which puts that particular principle of OKA on a collision course with President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, especially because the views of that particular principles are that Raila Amolo Odinga should not be on the ballot. The argument is that he has been on the ballot too many times with their support, with the support of the OKA principles. And now it is the turn of Raila Odinga to support one of the OKA principles for the presidency. Now, what this OKA principle is saying is factual. It is true they have supported Raila Odinga many times. However, it is also true that what this particular OKA principle is fighting for is selfish. It completely ignores what happened in 2017, and it completely ignores the handshake principles plan to fix Kenyan politics. I believe the view of this particular OKA person is that the next president of Kenya is capable, will be capable of fixing everything that is wrong with Kenya and fixing what happened in 2017. Now, anybody approaching this particular issue without any emotions and without any favorite horse, completely neutral, will know that that can never be true. Our problem with elections and the problems of 2017 can never be fixed by one individual. Yeah, even if that individual is the all-powerful President of the Republic of Kenya. Because if that were true, then the handshake principles would have already fixed it. The political experience of President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga would have already done it. When I say the experience of President Uhuru Kenyatta, I mean that he has actually sat on the seat. He has been the occupant of State House. He has been the President of the Republic of Kenya, for 9 years, as we speak, almost 9 years. Because we learned in 2002 that even very experienced politicians who have dreams and ideas and objectives and things they want to do when they become president usually find out, as soon as they're elected president, that things are not the way they thought. In other words, somebody needs to be president, or a very keen analyst of Kenyan politics to be able to see this. It is even more difficult to see it if you're an individual very desperate, very determined to be the next pork. Nothing to do with those domestic animals. POK simply stands for President of the Republic of Kenya. Now I can already hear somebody impatiently saying, come on Chris, tell us, who is this OKA principal? Tuambie bwana, toboa. My response, I'm thinking about it. You know the way Kenyan politics is. When you start mentioning names, people start throwing barbs at you. And I have no problem people throwing barbs at me. And people start saying that you don't like a certain person. And that you're analyzing Kenyan politics. In other words, somebody can quickly rubbish your analysis simply because you have touched them in the wrong place. You have touched a live wire. Umeguza their favorite horse. Yeah. So to avoid that, let me mention him much later. But those who are keen observers of Kenyan politics should already know who it is I'm talking about. If you're still not sure, just hold your horses. I will mention the name shortly. You know, there's something many Kenyans have not yet been able to see, and it could easily cost us as a country. Our country. We have a very unique opportunity to fix our politics. It is a unique opportunity because President Uhuru Kenyatta is almost finishing his 2 terms. He has no ambitions going forward for the presidency. He can never be president of Kenya again. Raila Odinga is an old man. And even if he wants to be president of Kenya, he is at the tail end of his life. When humans reach that age, their thinking changes completely. They tend to seriously focus on something called their legacy. And then the best thing going here for Kenya is that the 2 individuals represent the most of Kenya, the vast majority of the country called Kenya. And therefore together, there are many things they can do politically that would be impossible for any other grouping or any other person to do. Yes, they're politicians, but what I've just said is a fact that you cannot run away from. And yet another qualification of the pair that qualifies them to be in a very good position to solve our problems is the fact that they understand. And they understand because they are the sons of the 2 Kenyans who were there, who created the very serious situation we are in politically as a country today. The late President Jomo Kenyatta, the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Those were the 2 first president and vice presidents of the country called Kenya. And the rain started beating on us as a country during the reign of those 2. And so it is very sad that some people have managed to lie to Kenyans. Some people have managed for their own selfish reasons to position themselves as the saviors of Kenya. And they've managed to convince many of us that President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga have at the top of their minds their own selfish interests. They may have objectives. Indeed, I believe they do. They're politicians. However, who is more likely to have the best interests of the country at heart? Somebody who desperately wants to be president? Or somebody who is finishing their 2 terms of the presidency? And somebody who has done so much for Kenya, who is now old? Who is more likely to have the best interests of Kenya at heart? A pair, 2 people, or an individual who wants the presidency? Just answer that question for yourself. Anyway, to finish off with the letter, it is very instructive that the person who has written this letter is the Baringo Senator, Gideon Moi. I see he has used his other name. Maybe he wants to position himself in future so that the name Moi and all the memories it brings, some of them not so good, vanishes. I don't know. But it is Gideon who has written this letter. Now hold on a minute. Gideon is a principal of OKA. So there's also a problem within the OKA principles. What? Actually, for somebody who understands the history of President Uhuru Kenyatta and Gideon Moi, it is hardly a surprise. The President and Gideon have been close For decades, they grew up together. When people like Kalonzo Musyoka and Musalia Mudavadi were in the cabinet and had no time for Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru and Gideon were tight. And therefore it is hardly surprising that the president can say to Gideon, I want you to tell the other OKA principals this and that, and I want you to put it in writing. Very interesting letter. I don't think, in fact I'm fully convinced, that this letter is not a fake. And if it is a fake, it is still genuine in the fact that it has been released with the blessings of Senator Gideon Moi. Whatever he comes out and tells Kenyans later, that is what I believe. And the objective of this letter is to tell some people to slow down. And I want to stick very closely to the facts here so that nobody accuses me of hating anybody. Tell me, who asked Raila Odinga to be his running mate for the presidency? Tell me, who said that anybody in the Ruto camp who has heard that the deputy president is looking for Kalonzo should be told that Kalonzo is available? Who said that? Who is the brains and the heart behind OKA? Tell me. The answer to all those questions is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. His Excellency, the former Vice President of the Republic of Kenya. Hey, where's the popcorn? As a friend of mine keeps on saying, wewe kumekucha, you're responsible for raising the price of popcorn. And in these hard times, very soon we'll not be able to afford this vital commodity required when one is ingesting Kenyan politics and the drama in those politics. Na mambo bado. Tena bado sana. In my latest weekly intelligence briefings, for instance, I cover very sensitive politics. The role of drug lords in Kenya in our politics. What did they do in past elections? What has changed? What are they likely to do in 2022? Or what are they already doing? Highly sensitive information. Because I name names. Do take advantage of our latest special offer. Details on your screens right now. Because it will not continue forever. And if you've noticed, the prices are going north. So rush and become a life member, if you can, of my weekly intelligence briefings. Very important as we head to the most dramatic, unpredictable general elections we have ever experienced as a country. Where already so many things are happening. So many factors are in play. A lot of it highly sensitive. You need WIB to totally understand. And this particular WIB will be in your inboxes shortly. For those who are already subscribers. If you're not yet a subscriber, send a blank email to the email address you see on your screens right now for full payment details. The same payment details are repeated in the description area below. Go for it. I highly recommend it. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.